Now, we're going to talk about pubs. Both of us, big fan of a pub.
Yeah.
More than 200 have closed their doors for good in the first half of this year because of tax rises and labour costs.
Well, it now takes the total number of pubs vanishing from communities since 2020. That's just in the past 5 years. You'll not believe this. 5 years, nearly, well, I was going to say nearly 3,000, 2,283 to be exact. 2,283. Unbelievable. You know, I saw an episode of Clarkson's Farm recently, and he was trying to buy a pub.
Yes, I know, and all those
everywhere.
lovely pubs,
They
were all for sale.
In the Cotswolds.
So sad.
Really sad, but it says it all. What does the future hold for them? Well, we're going to go to a pub called The Dog, and The Dog is in Wingham, and we've got the landlord there, the owner, Mark Briggs. And Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, this is a sad situation.
Yeah, it's been, this has been in the news for so long now, and it doesn't look like anything's changing. It is so challenging to run a pub in these times. For a few years now, I think it really started with the utility crisis. That really was the end for many pubs and many landlords. We saw our energy go from 36,000 a year to 100, and we somehow survived that. Twinned with that, with the inflation, everything we buy, which continues. Recently we saw some of our beef products go up 25%. There's now the new taxes on packaging, which is coming into effect, and then that has a knock on to your waste. The really big challenge is labour costs. That's our single largest bill, is our team. It takes a lot of people to run a pub, restaurant, and in our case, we've got rooms, hotel. We have a staff of around 25 people. So we're labour intensive.
Mark, can you imagine
3 years of minimum?
Can you imagine meeting the Chancellor Rachel Reeves and her looking you in the eye and telling you, I've done a great thing for the country by taxing these jobs?
I wouldn't know whether to laugh or to cry. I would love to sit down with her and get some sort of, government is meant to deliver, a safe, stable environment for us to live and work in. And we do not have a stable environment within which to run our pubs and restaurants.
Well, why do they see, Mark, why do they see pubs as such a cash cow when you know how difficult it is to run, to maintain, to keep those buildings that you've got in order, to keep the staff together? You have to sell food whether you want to or not, because it's the only way you're going to make any sort of money. But why is it that people in Whitehall, civil servants and whatever, see you guys as the forever giving cash cow?
Well, if that's how they feel, they've got it wrong. They just don't understand, and they are killing. They are killing an industry that provides a huge amount of jobs and pays a huge amount in tax.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
And also gives a community, and also makes, and Mark, from my point of view, loving a pub as I do, and having lived in villages across the land, I would say it's the heart of a village. It's a community, and it's a place where people meet, and it just gives heart to places.
The heart
as well.
and soul,
heart and soul of the place.
And they're taking that away.
Absolutely.
And that's the bit you can't put a price on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we've lost our post offices.
Yeah.
And we're
Banks.
losing, so many of our, we've lost our banks, we've lost our post offices, and the pub is going next.
Actually, the other thing, Mark, that I would say is that, from my point of view, I went only last night. I went to go and have a little half of Timothy Taylor's, and I was just thinking, my goodness, the price of this half a pint is quite staggering. When I could probably go to the supermarket and go and buy.
That's the danger.
No, but I'm just saying that the problem is that as soon as they made it so that it was cheaper to go to the supermarket than it was to go to the pub, by a huge margin rather than just a bit of a margin, that also was difficult, wasn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. It has become so expensive to staff and to turn the lights on and to buy the beer and to then serve it that and we're not making any profit.
That's the problem.
And we've had to keep putting our prices up, and it's not to our benefit. And
what's the future, Mark? Tell me,
20%.
What is going to happen?
We're just going to lose more and more pubs. Our wonderful village of Wingham used to have 4 pubs. It has 2 now, and I don't know how long they will remain in business. I know that our neighbours in the villages around us, the pubs are either closing or they've lost another tenant and someone else is coming in to give it a go. And I'm talking all sorts of different pubs, from just, your spit and sawdust, have a pint in the village pub, through to, in the next village along, a Michelin-starred pub.
Have you thought about giving it up?
I am trying to go for as long as possible because we love it, and we love our guests and we love our team, but it is so hard. It really is.
Mark, sorry to hear about your troubles. I'm sorry that politicians, all of them, of all colours, of all shades, whether they're in government or not, are deaf to this, absolutely deaf. And they'll only miss it when it's gone. It's like the BBC, they complain about it all the time, and they'll miss it when it's gone. So thank you very much indeed. The pubs, the post offices, and the banks, what is left for village life.
Street.
Mark, leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. So listen, we want to ask you, what do you think? Is your pub being affected? As I said, I don't drink, but I love the atmosphere of a pub, and I'll go and I'll sit with people who do drink.
You're allowed to drink other drinks that, and a lot of people, for example, I'm sorry, but Guinness, zero Guinness is really, really good. You can't, I swear, you can barely tell it from the original. See, I do my homework properly. Even when I don't.
Sampling.
Yes, I do.